Boxing First with G Funky Boxing is brought to you by Pure Air Mechanical. Oh, what's happening, guys? G Funky Boxing here. This is another episode of Boxing First, brought to you by the good people at Pure Air Mechanical. Let's give them a hand. That's right, guys. Proud sponsor of the show, Pure Air Mechanical. If you're in the Northern California region, all your HVAC needs, all right, service, insulation, commercial, residential, heating and cooling, guys. Follow them on Instagram at pureair_mechanical. Tell them G Funky sent you. All right. What's going on to everybody out there? I don't know how many people are going to want to watch this live. I know that my channel has a lot of serious boxing fans who most likely don't care about this fiasco coming up tomorrow. Puro Suarez here, then. What's up, brother? Thanks for being here, man. Don't forget to hit the like button. So, look, guys, I'm just checking in. All right. Checking in to see how you guys are doing and seeing if there's any buzz for this Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson event coming up tomorrow from Arlington, Texas, the home of the Dallas Cowboys, my favorite football team. But look, man, there's been some things going on this week in the build up to this fight. I was over at my buddy Joseph Herron's channel earlier this week. We talked about the media day workouts that took place, and yeah, man, old Iron Mike is looking like a rusty Iron Mike on the pads. And you know, that's the funny thing, man, is pads is the one thing that can really kind of trick the casual's eye. If you got someone in front of you that really knows what they're doing. And you know, Mike doesn't look like he can throw more than, you know, 2 shots at a time without, you know, looking tired, man. And that's not good, man. The guy's 59 years old, I believe. Today was the weigh-in, and the weights were Jake Paul, 227 pounds, Mike Tyson, 228. So Tyson on a little bit on the heavier side to what, you know, there's probably a lot of people, a lot of fans out there who are going to watch this fight that weren't even alive when Mike Tyson last had a professional bout. But in his prime, he was not this heavy. He was, you know, below 220 a lot of the times. When he got out of prison in the mid 90s, he was, you know, around the 220 range. So he's a little bit heavier than usual. And, Omar E is here. What's going on, man? Um, Obviously that comes with age. And again, for a guy his age, he looks phenomenal, right? His body and everything looks good, but um, that doesn't win you fights, man. A good looking body and a beautiful body does not win you fights, man. I'm sorry. It just doesn't. And Puro here says he is not at all interested in the fight. Yeah, I'm getting that sense of that from us hardcores, the diehards, right? The diehard fans are not very interested in this fight. Um, I heard ticket sales are not doing very well in Texas, although I did see a report saying that they're expecting about 65,000 people for this event. I mean, I think they'll be lucky to get that. We'll see, though. We will see. Mike Tyson is one of the most famous fighters, boxers of all time, man. And the fact that he's getting in there fighting this social media guy turn fighter, boxer, whatever you want to call him, Jake Paul. Um, I think a lot of fans are looking at this as a backward step in Tyson's career. Essentially, an exhibition bout since they're both going to be wearing 14-ounce gloves. Yeah, and 2-minute rounds. Originally I was told that it was an exhibition, that it was the only way that someone could win is by knockout. If it goes a distance, nobody wins. Just like Tyson's bout 4 years ago against Roy Jones Jr. Went the distance, and there was no winner declared after the fight. Let's see. Puro here saying, never been big on exhibitions, but not mad at them happening since the inception of the sport. No, I mean, yeah, we've had quite a few in the long, rich history of boxing. Um, we did have a little brouhaha just right now at the weigh-in. Tyson and Paul, did a face-off, and Tyson slaps Jake Paul and then throws a little jab to the body on his way out of there until both entourages stepped in between. Look, guys, we all know that this is for getting fans excited. The casual fans, the Jake Paul fans who don't know uh, the difference, I guess you could say, between a work and a real squabble at a weigh-in or a press conference, like we've seen happen many times. Since I've been watching boxing, which is 30 years now. Um, we've seen this happen quite often at weigh-ins where someone might take a swipe or a push, something. But yeah, to me, this looked like a work to me, man, to get people excited. And look, this is going to do big business, man. Like they talked about the report of possible 65K going into AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas tomorrow night. Netflix is showing this, so all you have to do is pay a subscriber fee if you already have it. If you don't have it, and I do know that there are cable networks that are picking up this event, so you can order it that way as well. If you don't have a Netflix account and you don't want to order or subscribe to Netflix for the remainder of this month, you can do that as well. So there's going to be a lot of eyeballs on this thing, man. I'm very curious to see what the ratings do. I don't know how they're going to be able to calculate it on the streaming service of Netflix. We never usually get numbers from DAZN when they do pay-per-views now, because that's one of the things that they say is that it's kind of hard to know I mean, we get all kinds of weird answers from these streaming websites about viewership, right? As far as new subscriptions go, they could tell us that. But I think there's at least 100 million subscribers to Netflix here in the United States, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm very curious to see if we get any numbers from this at all. Um, from what I've heard, they're making a killing. Both guys are Netflix is paying a lot of money for this event. So, they're looking to get their money back, and I'm sure that they will, man. I'm sure that they will, but uh yeah, I don't this whole little thing that just happened at the weigh-in about an hour ago. And then Jake Paul comes out and they interview him and that was he hits like a bitch and I'm going to knock him out and like yeah, yeah, it's just it, you know I'll say this, man. It's funny to me that he's acting this way, and again, he's pandering to his audience, man, because they don't know any better. But we all know Tyson. Look, again, if you watch Tyson's career, and I watched a majority of it, the last few years, I mean, after he lost to Lennox Lewis, I mean, he didn't look like the killer that we all knew from the 80s and the 90s, man. Let's see. Of course, we care, and this is going to do incredible live figure. Yeah, I was just talking about that. Was that real? No, come on, it's not real. That was not real. Um, these things, man. Look, you risk a lot when these things happen, man. So of course it was choreographed, man. I mean, we just saw last year, Devin Haney shove Lomachenko, suffered a big fine for that at the weigh-in. And yeah, that's something that you just don't do, man. I mean, again, we've seen fighters do it in the past, but this would no, it was not real. Let's see. Hurt Mike's legacy, in my opinion, not one bit. It's gonna hurt the sport without a doubt. Well, I'd like to get you to go in a little bit more on that. He literally left a red mark on. Well, what I'm saying is this: I'm not saying that the slap didn't land. What I'm saying is that it was agreed upon prior to this ceremonial weigh-in that just took place in front of the fans. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that Tyson pulled the punch or anything like that. Um, so again, it's to get fans excited, man. That's all. That's all it is, man. There's no trust me, man. Um, but yeah, let me know what you mean by that, Poodle. If maybe I'll open up the phone lines, man, and see if you want to call in and you can explain it to me a little bit more. I would love to get your take on that about how it hurts. I mean, let's see. In the immediate gist with relevance of American pro boxing. Um, yeah, look, again, we know that boxing is not healthy right now in the US. That's for sure. And this is going to do big numbers. I remember back when Paul decided to start staging events, there was a lot of content creators, man, that were really they jumped on the bandwagon. And look, man, I know why that is. Again, guys, I did a show a couple months ago where I was talking about how a lot of these dudes are con men on YouTube. They're frauds, they're liars, they're carnies, they're, you know, all of the above. They'll say anything and do anything for clicks. That's what they'll do. They're not going to tell you the truth. They're going to tell you what you want to hear. That's exactly why I got somebody in the chat right now arguing with me because I'm not telling him what he wants to hear, but telling him the truth. um, but yeah, these guys, and I want to talk about this. Yesterday at the final press conference, we had fighters that are fighting on the undercard were asked who they thought was going to win the fight. There was quite a few fighters that said they wanted Mike Tyson to win. And Jake Paul gets up and starts talking some shit, right? Ruffled some feathers. I heard that one of the guys who he got up and talked shit to, that's fighting on the undercard, Mario Barrios, did not like those things that Jake Paul said to him. Um, Bruce Shoo Shoo Carrington looked like he was a little annoyed as well at Jake Paul, disrespecting him. Then he goes over to Katie Taylor and wants to bet her. Um, you know, these channels that jumped on the bandwagon, they say that this is great for boxing. Jake Paul is so great for boxing. They're dead silent on this, on his disrespect towards the fighters that are on this undercard that bring any that bring the actual legitimacy to this event, right? Because Jake Paul, who is not a good boxer by any stretch of the imagination, guys, he's just not. And anyone that tells you that he is, they don't know what they're looking at. Has he gotten better since his first couple of pro fights? Yeah, he's improved a little bit, but is he good? No, he's not. Mike Tyson, 60 years old, basically, right now. And he doesn't look good to me. He didn't look good towards the end of his career when he was a lot younger. So do I expect to see him do some damage tomorrow night? No, I don't. Unfortunately, I don't. And this does nothing to legitimize Jake Paul's run in boxing. It literally does nothing. Zero. Nothing. And, I had some fans come at me on social media about this whole disrespect towards the real fighters on the undercard from Jake Paul. And the funny thing is, I said, hey, look, man, these guys who we disrespected, they will fuck this guy up very fast in a real fight. In the ring, 8-ounce gloves, 10-ounce gloves, however he wants to do it. They will kick this guy's ass very easily. So the point I was trying to make to these guys is that, yeah, there's a reason why he's betting. He wants to bet them money, Obviously, he's got more money than these guys. These guys aren't big names on the undercard. Some of them are making their career high paydays because of how big this event is, right? Netflix involvement, paying a lot of money for this event. You're right. But yeah, I just find it funny how these guys on YouTube who, again, say that they're all about boxing, right? But they're dead silent on this disrespect towards the fighters that are on the undercard. They don't want to say anything because, again, they don't want to lose viewers. They don't want to lose subscribers, right? They got to walk on eggshells. We don't do that here, guys. Never have and never will. Like, I don't know this guy here. This might be my first time seeing you here, but you're most likely someone who, I don't know, you might be a Jake Paul fan. That's why you believe that slap was a real thing, But I'm not going to sit here and try to hype up the fight just so I can get subscribers, man. That's not what I do, right? But I can tell you this, man. If he was to say, well, if you guys think he's going to beat me so easy after I beat him, how about we get in the ring? That could have been something, right? But did he say that? No. And you know why? Because those guys would beat that ass. That's why. And he knows it. So I just say this: stick to what you're doing, Jake Paul. All right? Stick to what you're doing and make your money, okay? You got a hustle going. So keep hustling as long as you can, as long as people are willing to purchase tickets to your event and pay-per-views to watch it at home. Continue to do it, man. But disrespecting the legitimate fighters on the undercard of your show, yeah, that's not cool, man. Not cool. And like I said, these guys would kick his fucking ass quickly, very quickly. Let's see. People I've had a long time actually talking boxing and not trolling. All right, I'm gonna open up the phone line for you, man, real quick. If you want to call in, just give me 1 second, Puro. All right, I'm gonna hook up the phone line real quickly. All right, let's see. Now I'll put the number on the screen. Boom. There it is. Give me a call, bro. I got a few minutes here to kill. That's why I decided to come on and talk about this event here. Don't forget, we got Latin Night live from Saudi Arabia, guys. Saturday morning here on the West Coast. If you're listening to this and you're on the East Coast, it's going to be in the afternoon for you. The main event, which is the Zordo fight, I think will probably be on like around 3 or 4 my time, Pacific time. So yeah, a long day of boxing when these cards come on, man. And yeah, the Turk, man, he's got to do something about that, man. Like, at least in Australia, they do the thing where it's on Sunday there, so it could be on prime time here in the States. I feel like if you have a bunch of fighters, especially Latino fighters, mostly Mexicanos, Chicanos, right, that are on this card Saturday. I don't know how many of them are going to tune in at that time, man. I just don't. um, I gotta admit, even for someone like myself that is in the boxing business, I'm a diehard fan. Before that, um, it's hard, man, especially when you have children. Weekends is when you want to do stuff with your kids. And yeah, dude. All right, this should be Puro. Let's get him on. You there, brother?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Can you hear me, brother?
Yes, sir. We can hear you. How you doing, man?
Hey, how you doing, G-Punk, man? What's going on, big time?
I'm good, man. Like I said, I'm just on here checking the temperature, the fans out here, seeing how they're feeling about this. So give me your thoughts, man. How are you feeling about this thing?
Yeah, like I was saying, a little bit in the chat. I mean, to me, I'm not at all interested. Like, I'm a huge Mike Tyson fan. Kind of big fan for the longest. So I don't think it hurts his legacy. His legacy is set. The type of fighter that Mike Tyson, did for the sport when he was actually in his heyday. Like at least me, like go ahead. Like you already paid your dues. Make your money if you want to make it. Unfortunately, like for me, like ever since like I think actual like YouTuber or like amateur style, like not amateur, but just like amateur off the street type boxing, like took actually hold was during the pandemic. When a lot of people, with StreamYard and all these platforms started making it so easy to, to broadcast to the world and stuff like that, and then also the manufacturer Floyd Mayweather turned off a lot of American fans.
Oh, and, yeah.
And American fans have always been into like WWE, always, like from young, like me, I stopped watching it at a certain age, but when I was young, I was big into it, so I think that's where the most of the casual boxing fan in America went to these type of like influencer boxing type things. That's why like the actual like fighter that's, trying to take this sport seriously, trying to, walk in the footsteps of Mike Tyson and stuff like that and, make a career out of it. They suffer, it is what it is. Unfortunately, I think Jake Paul has never been in here to help the sport or like I used to give him credit, and I still do for like Amanda Serrano and the women kind of putting the women on. But Amanda Serrano's the only one he really put on.
That's
At the end of the day,
true.
he's doing it for himself.
Yeah.
You know?
No, that's absolutely correct, man. It seems like Serrano is really the only fighter that he's helped since he's been staging events and having these fighters on the undercard. That was the main talking point from a lot of channels here. But I'm just looking right now. I'm looking at Tyson's box rec. And after he lost to Lennox back in, what was that, 2000, I think, something like that. He fought Clifford. Yeah, he fought Clifford Etienne, knocked him out in one round, then loses to Danny Williams, then loses to Kevin McBride, where he basically just, I don't want to say he quit, but he just kind of sat there and, let the referee count as he was knocked down. So really, even including the Lennox fight, he was really a shell of himself at that point, man. And we're talking 24 years ago, man. So, like, can we really expect to see anything from him tomorrow night, man? Like, I don't know, man. I don't think so.
Yeah, me neither. Even though, like, like back when he ended his career, and it just like a lot of boxers that box too long end. Like Lennox Lewis, top tier. Danny Williams, like he's that I would consider him an elite heavyweight, but I do remember when he dislocated his shoulder and he knocked the dude out with like one hand. I mean, I don't think Jake Paul ever doing that,
No.
These are feats that they're accomplished by fighters that are literally like, okay, if I don't win this fight, I might have to go work at the gas station or something. It's a different time and a different mindset for a lot of these influencers. I tell you what.
No, that's true, man. It's a weird thing, even thinking about something like this. Like, I would have never pictured something like this taking place. Like, and I'm thinking about it right now while I'm looking at Tyson's resume, and like, I remember exactly where I was at when I watched him fight Lennox. Same thing with Holyfield. It's like I would have never pictured him fighting someone with the experience and the fame like Jake Paul, where he's just, and I'll be honest with you, dude, I don't even know how the fuck this guy got popular. I don't even know what he does. Like, do you? I have no idea.
He does what we do, but just at a bigger scale. He has a platform, and went viral. He's a product of this new generation of young men and young women and even older men and older women that have a platform, and I don't know. I know I think they were both Disney Kid channel. The Rugrats, or what are they called back in the day?
Yeah, I remember that show.
The Mouseketeer. Here's the Mouseketeer.
Wow, really?
At the end of the day, I think he did stupid tricks, and people have always been fascinated on people doing dumb things.
So I guess he's kind of like the Jackass guys in a way, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's like the evolution of the Jackass guys.
Wow. Okay, because I remember the first time I seen, I think it was him, or it might have been his brother, fighting on DAZN. I remember Devin Haney was on the undercard. I think it might have been his brother, right? The one who's a wrestler now. And I know Logan Paul's a wrestler because I, much like you, when I was young, I was very much into pro wrestling. Huge fan. 80s, 90s, Attitude Era.
I've seen some of your videos back in the day. I believe it.
Yeah, dude, those were my, I love that shit, man. And every now and then I might pop my head in and check it out. And, lately I've been seeing Logan Paul. I think he's the Intercontinental or United States champion now or something. So I think it might have been him who was fighting on that card. And I was just like, I think I did a live stream for that one as well. And I was just like, boy, it was kind of like, I don't want to say fascinating, but it was just like I don't know how to describe it. Like, while I'm watching it, I'm just like, this is just weird, surreal almost, that see guys that are, I guess he was fighting some gamer or something like this is what we're doing now, huh?
Yeah. Well, in my opinion, I've always known what the appeal was for wrestling fans, or for any wrestling fans, whether it be like a young kid, like watching it, not knowing what they're seeing. At the end of the day, I think like pro wrestling fans, as they call them, they dupe themselves into thinking, because I don't think they would watch it if they didn't, that it's real.
Yeah.
That Logan Paul is actually the Intercontinental champion. He actually did something to merit that accolade. And at the end of the day, I can just remember myself as a young man, like when you're kind of finally starting to see that, I don't know, this guy always wins and he never loses, and then you kind of like, you're glued to every. I remember back in those days, like they didn't really have wrestling on regular TV. You would watch like what happened on like Saturdays for me.
Yeah.
And I didn't have cable, and then pay-per-views. Like my mom and dad were gonna pay for that shit. My dad would pay for pay-per-view for boxing, but he already knew about the wrestling.
Not for wrestling,
but
yeah.
Yeah. And the thing is, wrestling and boxing are promoted the exact same way.
Yes, they
are. The
only
thing is that one is actually real, where people die, and another one is just scripted as a ballet.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of parallels with the way that pro wrestling has been promoted in boxing, man. You're correct on that, man. I almost feel like boxing should take more of notes from the way that pro wrestling promotes itself to try to revive it today. Because we talked briefly about this before you called in, about how the market is not healthy here, which is exactly why we get these kind of events and why they draw so much attention from fans.
And it's actually really healthy. It's just they don't want to watch Terrence Crawford. They don't want to watch Devin. They don't want to watch Tank. They don't want to watch them. They want to watch a regular Joe, I guess, go in there. They want to see themselves like, oh, I could do what he did, and I don't have to prove myself, versus some dude that like literally is try to kill me because he won't eat if he doesn't.
Yeah, man. And I think that they should definitely go back to like when wrestling was promoted regionally, when they had the territories in the 80s. I feel like that would be a good
I didn't know
way,
that actually went away. Funky. I actually didn't know. I'm sorry, Chris. I actually didn't know that went away.
Yeah, man. I think it should be, because that's the way it used to be for boxing. Like a lot of fighters got built up in their region and became big ticket sellers, and then that's how they got to the level that they got to. We just seen it last Friday night in Norfolk, Virginia, with Keyshawn Davis. Had a fantastic crowd there for his homecoming fight, and it was done the right way, man. They put him in there with good opponents, decent opponents to highlight his strengths and things like that. And he's already he's an Olympian. He won a silver medal, so you bring him back home, and that's exactly how it's done, man. Now to me, there's no reason for Tank Davis and his side to say, well, what does this guy bring to the table? Look, Virginia is very close to where Tank is from, which is Baltimore. Dude, they could sell out an arena easily and make a lot of money. So there's really no excuse now at this point for that fight not to happen.
Yeah, no, there isn't. And also I was going to say, don't get me wrong, Keyshawn's never really sold the way he sold at any other time in his career. And I agree with you, they did it right. But also, like, the focus wasn't on strictly Keyshawn, but the focus was on Norfolk.
Yes.
They pulled in the first strings of Pernell Whitaker, because he's like one of the most famous boxers from there. And then they had Bruce Smith. They sold that fight. Yeah. The star boxer that night was Keyshawn Davis, local boy trying to make good like Pernell. But they really sold that show promoting Norfolk and the athletes, not just boxers that came before them. And they've done that. That's tried and true. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, like, at a certain point, like they got to still keep the momentum, and eventually the angle of Norfolk will wane, in my opinion, if he keeps fighting mediocre competition. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it could be. you know,
And I'm not saying I'm fighting you for competition. I'm just saying that it's got to go part and parcel. He's got to start upping his game, because that's another big, in my opinion, issue with these current boxers. They want to. I don't know why, but they want to stay where they are. They want to fight fights that fighters that they don't know, and that's not nothing new. You know, fighters fight dudes that they don't know all the time, but people want to see competitive fights.
Yeah, when you get to the elite level of the game, definitely, I agree with you, man. I feel like there's a lot of fans that complain about the way that Top Rank kind of builds their fighters, right? Oh, all they do is put them in with tomato cans and blah blah blah. Well, look, it's a situation where you probably know a lot about this, Puro. I'm probably preaching to the choir with you, but maybe there might be some listeners that don't know. But
yeah, for sure.
when you're building a fighter, man, it's an investment. That's number one that the fans got to understand, is that the promotion has invested in this fighter, so they want to build him correctly. They want to make sure that they put him in situations early where he's going to look good, look fantastic, get people excited. And then once you start to build some buzz that way, that's when you start to test him. Like, okay, let's see how he does against someone that's going to move all night. Let's see how he does against a counterpuncher. Let's see how he does against a pressure volume guy. Let's see how he does. The last thing that you want to see is, you know, hey, look, let's see if he could take a punch. Let's put him in with a puncher. That might be the only chance he's got to win, is a puncher's chance, but let's see if he's got some good whiskers. You know, if he could take a shot from this guy, he most likely could take a shot from anyone. And if he passes that test, boom, now you're at the elite level. Now it's time to say, okay, let's take on the top guys. Keyshawn is, I guess he's kind of there right now. Gustavo Lemos, more of a super lightweight, in my opinion. This fight was at 135.
Unproven, by the way. Sorry to chop again. Unproven.
Yeah. No, you're right. Really, his only claim to fame was giving Hitchens a tough fight in his last
which
fight.
I believe Hitchens lost, but at the end of the day, who was Hitchens? Another unproven fighter.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, that was probably his best opponent to date, Gustavo Lemos. And we could say the same for Keyshawn, right? We could probably say the same.
Yeah. No, exactly.
Yeah, and one guy looked spectacular. The other guy looked mediocre against him. So now
I thought Lemos was going to pull it off. To be honest, I thought at least he had a good shot. But I guess I either overrated the Hitchens win too much, because also was taking into account that Lemos was denied his number one position, or at least a step-up fight for a long time. I remember seeing Lemos in the rankings for a cool minute, but he kept fighting the same level of opposition.
Yeah, no, I mean, that happens, man, with the sanctioning bodies.
All the time, more and more. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, like what really at this point, what good are they? You know.
Yeah.
But you know, I feel like
now.
No, I feel like with this win and how spectacular he looked in there, and again, was Lemos, was he like really like on top of his game going into that? From what I heard from people that were there, they said that Lemos, it wasn't a situation where he didn't make weight because he wanted to have an advantage going in there. He couldn't make weight because he just wasn't in good shape, you know?
that could be. To be he looked in good shape, but like me, like the eye test, like I have the eye test on like if they know how to box or not, like whether they look physically fit or out of shape. I can't. That's out of my pay grade.
Yeah, no, I mean it's hard to tell from TV, you know. That's why I trusted.
Especially I'm no nutritionist.
Right. No, that's why I trusted the people that were there. You know, like I didn't see the weigh-in. And obviously we know that those aren't real weigh-ins when we see them on TV. So yeah, from what I heard, he didn't look very good, very healthy after the weigh-in was over. So am I really surprised?
Sorry,
No, it's all good, man. I got kids myself.
My daughter, my bad. She's like trying to get my attention. My bad. Let me go.
It's all good, man. Oh, you still there? You still there, brother?
I'm still here, brother. I'm sorry, brother. It's just sorry, my daughter's like, 1 more minute, mommy. I'm here 1 more minute.
Oh, it's all good. It's all good, man. So I tell you what, man. I'll let you get.
Hi. I don't know if you can hear him.
No, it's all good, man. I tell you what. I'll let you get the last word, man, and then I'll let you go.
For sure, for sure. Yeah, no, yeah, like I was gonna say, like I was reiterating before. Yeah.
Oh, we lost him. Well, hey, let's give him a hand. That was a good call. And again, he was doing the parental thing, and I have to take care of mine here in about an hour or so. They go to bed, so that's why I figured I'd come on and talk with you guys for a little bit about this event happening tomorrow night. So, yeah, if anybody else wants to call in, oh, there he is. I think he's calling back. Let's see. Yeah, I think this is him. Oh, you there, brother?
Yeah, sorry, I hit the button.
No, it's all good, man. So go ahead, man. Give us your final take on the event. And no, you know what? Before that, what do you think about the Latin night in Saudi Arabia, man? What fights are you excited about on that card?
Most of them. Most of them. I feel like it's a very good card. I'm excited that one of our posters not getting a shot at the title, but he was getting a shot at, in my opinion, the top workout. You know, I mean, Keel's got a play to that, to beat that Steelers. But Ramirez, I mean, he's former, unified, he's also just Steelers post one. But anyways, so I'm looking forward to that, and Barbosa could deny the shot for a full minute. It's not a title shot, but at least it's against one of the top leagues.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear me, sir.
Yeah, you sound a little far away, but I could hear you. But yeah. It's all good, man.
Can you hear me better?
Yeah, now I can hear you better. Now I'm right there with you, man. I'm excited mostly for the Ramirez Barbosa fight as well. This could be Jose Ramirez. He could be at the end of his line here. We'll see, man. I mean, Barbosa is really not known for being a big puncher, so it could be interesting, man.
Yeah.
It could be interesting. Ramirez, we know he's a machine. He's going to come in good shape. He's going to let the hands go. It's just a matter of if Barbosa is able to touch him with something to keep him, cautious. That's the thing, man. And look, if Jose is coming towards that part of his career where he could be shot, usually the chin is one of the things that lets you know. And we have seen him rocked a couple times in his last couple fights, so there is some merit to that, even though I hate to say it, because Ramirez is one of my favorite fighters. I shouldn't say one of them. He is my favorite fighter.
Mine as well.
Yeah, because of just not just how he's a good fighter, but what he does outside of the ring. I really respect that.
I really don't know what he does outside of the ring, but I mean, in the ring, I mean, he's one of the ones that that is carrying the sport. Like one of the low key ones.
Yeah, dude, I love Jose, man. He's a nice guy. I got a chance to meet him last year at a Top Rank show.
Yeah.
Very humble individual. Shaking hands, taking pictures with everyone, didn't turn anyone down. His publicist had to pull him away, man. Like I could tell, he probably said about 20 times, like, all right, guys, that's it. We gotta go. And then he just wants to sit there and talk with everyone. So
I hear you.
He's a nice guy outside of the ring, man. But Zordo, man, what do you think, man? Is he gonna win this fight? There's some people thinking upset.
Yeah. No, I'm not thinking upset. I mean, like, obviously at this weight, I mean, it's like that's his third fight, I believe.
Yeah.
But I mean, in relation to like skill set of the two fighters, I think Sordo has a better skill set. I mean, he's fought like every style in the ring. He laid an egg against Bivol, but it is what it is. And what you call it? What's his name? Billiam Smith?
Yeah, Billiam Smith, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, he's okay. I think he's about maybe like a C+ fighter, but still really good, I mean, one of the top at cruiserweight. But yeah, I think Zordo picked him out like in 7. But it's going to be competitive, I think.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a fun fight too, man. Oscar Collazo, who he's an exciting fighter as well. He's down there, I think, at minimum weight or something like that, man. He's a really small guy.
Yeah.
That should be interesting.
And he's fighting the guy that I thought I didn't know him, but I forgot that the Thai fighters are a lot of them are no longer taking their gym name.
Mm-hmm.
But he's fighting CP Freshmart. That guy's been a champion for 12 years.
Wow. That's a long time, man.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, he plays CP Freshmart. I'm like, who's this Tamalama Tamalun dude? I'm like, I never heard of this guy. I was like, oh, okay, because you remember what's his name? The guy that knocked out Chocolatito. What's his name?
Oh, Sorong Visay. Yeah.
Yeah, so Visay, that's not his real name, and he doesn't go by that anymore, right?
Yeah, he changed his name. I seen that. Yeah.
yeah, he changed his name back to his original like government name. It's just in Thailand for the longest. I don't know if they're moving on from that practice. They always take at least part of their name of the gym they train at.
Yeah. Yep. No, that's true, man.
Yeah.
I seen that. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, but,
yeah, I remember back in the day, it's like, why are these guys called like this? Some of these guys have like weird names.
Yeah, that's true, man. Okay, so what about this one, man? Camarón Cepeda versus Tevin Farmer. Farmer, a guy who is very hard to look good against. He just doesn't give people a lot of opportunities in there. What do you think of that one, man?
I think it's gonna be a good fight because I don't think Tevin Farmer is washed. It's just a style matchup. Unfortunately, I go back to the JoJo fight when he won the championship against Farmer when he unseated him. It's just the style that Tevin Farmer and other fighters that fight like that. So that's like the pure boxer, like trying to beat you from the outside. A lot of movement. To me, the one of the best styles to beat is a come forward fighter that throws like a million punches, and a lot of people forget that JoJo in that fight threw a ton of punches, and that's why he won.
Yes,
and nobody throws more punches than William Cepeda.
Great point, man. Much like Jojo Diaz, Cepeda definitely a volume puncher, although Cepeda can actually punch. That's the difference.
He got some punch to him. People underrate him, I think, because they think his style is, as they say in Spanish, muy bruto, muy tosco, like very basic.
Yeah.
But a lot of people just don't know how to distinguish those styles, because, in my opinion, a lot of propaganda about like flat-footed and it's just, it's those type of styles are they have their own little special like quirks to them. And in Mexico, they perfect those really well. Yeah. And that's what I want to say real quick before you respond. The only thing I don't like about Cepeda is his coach, Panda. I don't think he's a good coach.
Okay. Well, I mean,
I think he's a very overrated coach.
Nah, that's a good point. He's he's kind of
respect to him because he's got some good food.
Yeah. No, I mean, I hear good things about the guy behind the scenes, but again, in this business, man, we rate you and judge you on what goes on in the ring. And right now, Cepeda is he's in a position where he's the mandatory in all four sanctioning bodies, which is kind of crazy. From what I'm hearing,
and how many title shots have you gotten?
Right, not yet, none yet. But from what I'm hearing, man, it's all but done. All he's got to do is take care of business. Saturday in Saudi, it's up. He hung up. Oh man. But from what I've been hearing, let's get him back on. You there?
Sorry, I did it again, and that's because my pause keep falling out. Had that button turned off. It won't happen again. I apologize.
No, it's all good, man. But from what I'm hearing, it's all but done. If he takes care of business with Farmer Saturday, Shakur Stevenson, man, in February. That's what I'm hearing. So the title shot's going to come, and it's going to be against him.
Right there.
Say what?
I don't buy it. I don't buy it. I'm just going to start there. I start there. I don't buy
it. Why?
I don't. Because, I mean, one, the stylistic matchup. Not saying that Shakur can't win. Most people, if you ask them, and they have kind of, they don't know what they're looking at. They're like, okay, there's no way Cepeda can win. But, he has power, the style matchup. The way I don't rate Shakur very highly. I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're going to see it, man. From what I've been hearing, this is the reason why he's in there with a guy like Farmer, who much like Shakur, tries not to give you a whole lot to work with. So they want to get him prepared for that kind of style so that his next fight will be against Shakur Stevenson, man. And I think it's like you said, man, the contrast of styles is there. And, you know, the question is going to be, will Shakur be willing to sit down on his shots and try to hurt Zepeda to keep him off him? Because if he doesn't, man, he's going to be letting the hands go, man. We know that Zepeda, he don't give a shit, man. He's going to be Zepeda no matter what, man.
Yeah. I would say if they make the fight, I'm willing to bet, like if I had millions, you know, like I'm not a rich man, I'm willing to bet like my last dollar that Shakur will not sit down on his punches.
No, I don't think so either.
Against his style fighter, because he doesn't have the fundamentals to defend himself enough not to get knocked out.
Yeah, I don't think he's willing to commit, because even though Zepeda is going to give him a lot of opportunities, because Shakur is a counterpuncher, Zepeda a volume puncher. But again, the difference is between most pressure in volume guys like a Jojo Diaz or someone like that. They don't always punch with power. This guy tries to hurt you with every shot, man, and he doesn't get tired, and he's all over you like a cheap suit for 12 rounds, man. So he might not have a choice, you know, to do it. And if he does, he's taking a risk, man. So we're going to see how good those whiskers are, you know?
Yeah. He doesn't have the defensive capability to keep that type of volume puncher off of him, especially with that type of experience.
Yeah. No, it's
Kevin's going to give him fits. Kevin has it. Kevin has the defensive fundamentals down pat. You know, it's just we don't know how much he has. Even in his prime, I think it was still, like, obviously the JoJo was happening in his prime. It's just like, people call me crazy. I just do not reach it far out one bit. And that's why I don't think he's going to take the fight, because he knows he doesn't have the capability to be.
All right, man. Well, I'll tell you what, man, it's been great talking with you, man. Great call as always. And we'll see you on the next one, Puro. Have a good night, brother.
Thank you, G-Funky. God bless you, man. Peace.
No problem, man. You too. That was my man Puro Sur calling in, guys. I'll stay on for maybe another 10 minutes. If anybody else wants to call in, let me put the number back up on the screen. I was going to shut it down, but I see a few people popped up. So if anybody wants to call, there's the number, guys. Don't be shy. My man at 92AKU is here. He says, Clapback Thursdays. Yes, I love Clapback Thursdays, man. They're hilarious. Javier, what's up, man? He says, Shakur will move around the ring more than ever in his life. Yeah, I don't think he's going to present Zepeda with a stationary target, man. You know, I just don't think he will. See, I don't care about Tyson Paul fight. I don't know what's going to happen. Yeah, you know, I'm getting the sense of that because no one's popping up really to during the show. And look, I'm not saying that I have the most popular show out there, but I know I can get more than what I've gotten on the show. I just think that, again, the audience that I have, it's diehard fans, you know, hardcore fans. And a lot of us are not into this thing, you know. A lot of casuals are excited, though, man. I've been getting a lot of text messages. People have been sending me the videos of Tyson slapping Paul. Let's get the next caller on. I think this is my man 92AKU. If I'm not mistaken, is this you, brother?
Yeah, it's me. Sorry, let me just put my headphones on.
Yes, sir. Good talking to you, man. Are you there?
Am I here? Am I on the iPod? I should be connected by now.
Yeah. Brother, you should have this prepared before you call in. All right.
I know. All right. Let's see. What the hell is going on here?
Can you hear me, though? Check 1, 2. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you
Can
hear me?
you hear me?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Perfect. Yes, I can now.
All right. What's on your mind, bro?
No, I just saw the slap. I just saw Mike Tyson slap Jake Paul.
Yeah. Like I said, man, I've gotten quite a few texts since I've been on the air about it, man.
There's a funny clip of Andre Ward. He's interviewing Mike Tyson. He asked him about the Hezbollah when the Hezbollah went to Mike Tyson's podcast. And I guess Mike Tyson picked him up and started kissing him like he was a baby. Like,
Oh yeah, I did see that.
And Andre Ward was like, "Hey, did you know that was a grown man? And did you thought that was a baby?" And Mike Tyson, he's so funny. He's like, "Yeah, I thought that was." He said, "I thought that was a baby."
I did see that
It's
too, man. That's
hilarious.
hilarious. But hey, look, the guy
man.
looks like a baby. I mean, like it's if you didn't know who he was,
Yeah.
and again, I recently discovered who that guy was. But if I didn't know him and I just saw him, I would assume he was a little baby too.
Oh, 100%, 100%. But the clip is hilarious.
Oh man,
You
so
can see Andre Ward.
let me ask you something,
Andre
man.
Ward is just laughing out loud.
Let me ask you something, man. Where is the buzz meter for 92 AKU, man, up for this fight?
The buzz meter, it's like in the middle. Usually, those big fights days. Like you said, like the hardcores are not like you said. Even like you said, the chat, or that you don't have that many callers right now or viewers for this episode. Yeah, you're right, because it's for the hardcores. We get excited. We're all on YouTube, like Bevo and Betterview. Like we're excited for that. We get we get anxious and we get those nerves, and we're excited for the fight.
Yes.
This one is kind of like more entertainment, kind of like we're gonna watch it, but it's more like we're not really. We're just seeing we just don't know what the hell's gonna happen.
Yeah, that's another thing too. It's like, what do we really expect from this event? Like Tyson, I'll be honest, man, watching him at the media day workout, God, he looks terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, and again, this is to my point that I said earlier. Like his body looks good for a guy who's 59 years old, right? It's in tremendous shape. But again, just because your body looks good doesn't mean that you can fight, And he's, man, he doesn't look good to me, man. He looks very sloppy. Maybe it has something to do with the guy who's holding the pads for him. Maybe they're just not in sync. I don't know, man. But it doesn't look good to me, man. Did you see any of that this week?
No, I didn't, but I can only imagine. He didn't look good when he fought Roy Jones Jr. in work. Didn't look very.
That was 4 years ago.
Exactly. So it's like, man, I don't know, man. I'm rooting for Mike, and I hope he knocks him out. But he's like a minus. I don't know. He's like a plus 170, I think.
Really? That's a lot closer than I thought. Holy shit.
Yeah. So.
No,
man.
Yeah, I don't really know what to make about this. It's just kind of like I was talking with the last caller, man, and I was going over Mike Tyson's resume after he fought Lennox, and I'm like, dude, could you you remember him fighting Lennox, right? Like, could you imagine at that time thinking, man, you know what? In 24 years from now, he's gonna be fighting some guy who's a personality on the internet, like.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's so crazy, dude.
Doesn't it doesn't seem real, does it? Like,
so I just hope, because it's gonna be popular. I mean, it's gonna be a lot of people are gonna watch it because it's on Netflix.
Yes,
and it's a Friday night. I just hope it's not a boring fight. So it doesn't. So like maybe Netflix gets in the live boxing game, or some other streamer, like, oh shit, a lot of people watch it. All right, let's. What's PBC like? Maybe this affects PBC. Like maybe other, like Amazon or other platforms, they want to see what this does. And maybe that's why PBC's been kind of, out of the there's no buzz on PBC right now. None of their fighters are fighting.
Yeah, that's they've taken a huge nosedive this year, but from what I'm hearing, Al Heyman looks like he's in better health, so. That's why we got the announcement of David Morrell and David Benavidez fighting February 1st, I believe, of next year at the T-Mobile Center in Las Vegas, Nevada. Heyman is
it official though?
It is official.
Is it official?
It's official, man. They got a date. They got a venue. So it's going to happen, man. Let me respond to this comment here real quickly from my man Javier. He says, we need more live shows or videos, G Funky. How is the family? Family's doing good, man. Thank you for asking. And, they're just keeping me busy, work. I'm doing boxing stuff here in my hometown of Sacramento as well. So Been pretty busy, man. But I am trying to pump some stuff out here, man. But so you say that you're right in the middle as far as the buzz determined, the
Yeah,
buzz meter, huh?
yeah, like usually like on the big fight, I'll ask my cousins, hey, like where we're gonna go, what we're gonna watch, or what we're gonna do. But this one, I think everyone is not seen as a big fight. I just hope it's not like you said. Like I said, I hope it's not a boring fight. So it's because I remember one of these Jake Paul fights. I forgot. I think it was Woodley or something. It was really boring until you KO'd him.
Yes, I think it was the rematch, the one where he knocked him silly late in the fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jake Paul was
like,
doing a lot of holding and wasn't a very entertaining fight. I have a feeling that's what we're going to see here, man. I think that he's going to try to use his youth and his energy that a guy who's in his late 50s doesn't have anymore. Try to rough him up. He's got some height on Mike. They weighed in today.
Yeah.
They're basically weigh the same. But yeah, I think he's going to try to wear him down and hold him and try to move a lot and try to get Tyson to expend a lot of energy. Mike's always been an explosive fighter and puncher. So I don't know how long you can sustain that at 59. I mean, loading up and with speed and power on every shot, that takes legs away from guys that are in their prime,
Yeah, no, you're right. No, 100%. Hey, what's your thoughts on the boxing right now? I know you've been a Canelo hater for a while.
Oh yeah.
Dude, I've turned to the dark side, dude. I can't stand him anymore, man.
Welcome to the dark side, my friend.
Can you just fight Benavidez? I don't want to fight. I don't want him to see fighting what they're talking about, Eubanks Jr. or something like that.
Yeah.
Dude, that just be another wasted dude. And then Canelo, dude, he's wasted. Like he's you can tell when when he's in like a bad mood, like he's a bad like heel Canelo. Well, it's when he's ducking someone, and all the reporters are asking about fighters. He gets so annoyed, and that's how you know when he's ducking fighters is when he's in a bad mood and he doesn't like Benavidez questions or Triple G questions. Have you noticed that?
No, yeah, that's true, man. You could definitely see it on his face that he doesn't want to be bothered with the questions about said fighter that people want to see him fight. Yeah, it's pretty simple, man. And the only people that don't want to accept it are his fanboys, man, his hardcore fanboys. And it's very simple, man. If he picks up
I'm a hardcore fanboy.
If he picks up the phone and calls Benavidez and says, "Hey, bring your ass back down to 168. Let's make a fight." The fight happens.
Yeah.
It's really that simple with Canelo.
Give him a pass if he fights if he really does fight Arthur Benavidez.
I don't think that's going to happen, man, to be quite honest with you.
No?
I mean, he's not even going to move up to 175 to fight Bivol. Like, he's not going to fight Peterviev, like that guy is crazy strong. I don't see that happening, man. Canelo hasn't looked good at 175. I mean, he got that knockout against Kovalev. Kovalev was a little shaky at the time, but then he gets wiped cleanly by Bivol. I mean, he just hasn't looked good there. Like, I don't see him moving up and fighting him.
You're right. Because I had Kovalev winning. Like, I think
so did I.
Or up by a round.
So
I had
did
him winning that fight.
Yeah. It wasn't competitive, I don't think. I think he was starting to run away with the fight late. And he got clipped and Canelo got him out of there. You got to give him credit for that.
Yeah.
But did he look like Canelo? No.
No.
He certainly didn't look like Canelo against Bivol either. So I don't see that happening.
Just Canelo, just his excuse, like all his answers to the questions, they're so lame. Like they're like it's so like the whole like. Dude, he's like he doesn't know his excuses don't even make sense anymore for Benavidez. He says he brings nothing to the table but wants $200 million for him.
Right.
He says, like all this dumb bullshit. He says, then he starts bringing up, which is really lame, what Benavidez hydrates to. When Berlanga, it looked like Berlanga was heavier. He was fucking. He came in at 190.
Fucking huge.
Yeah, so he looked like he came in. like, dude, his excuses, like, you could tell the boxing internet media, everyone, reporters, everyone's getting his shtick, and it's gonna hurt his legacy. Like, him not fighting Benavidez is gonna hurt. Do you agree with that sentiment?
You know, I do, but not fully. And the only reason why I say not fully is because, you know, I don't like to project the future with fighters, you know. But
Yeah.
I'll say this: Benavidez has the potential to be a great fighter as the years go on and on. We've seen improvements from him, and we see what he's doing now, where he's saying, you know what, hey, look, Canelo doesn't want to fight me. Fuck it. I'm out of here. You know, I'm going to go and fight in another division and try to get the belts there. So potentially, yeah, he could have a nice, solid legacy at the end of his career. And Canelo fighting him and possibly beating him, that would look great. So that portion right there, yeah, I could definitely see that helping out Canelo's legacy. But I feel like he's going to be a Hall of Famer, no doubt about it, even if he doesn't fight Benavidez, you know?
Oh, yeah.
So
it's going to be like that.
Yeah. But let me ask you this, since you brought up Canelo and all the fans that are watching, even though there's only 3 watching, because again, I don't think most people care about this fight, but fact or fiction for you, and this was asked of me on Joseph Haran's channel the other night. I want to know, fact or fiction from you and from you guys in the chat. Mike Tyson will quit on the stool after 4 rounds, and Jake Paul will call out Canelo Alvarez to a fight, post-fight interview. Fact or fiction?
I'd say fiction. Because that's really specific. That's, you know, the odds are not on your. Yeah, I'm thinking gambling wise. That's, dude. If you think that's gonna happen, you go put a couple $100 on that, dude. This can get you a couple thousand.
My man Javier in the chat says that's a fact, and he's laughing as well. Lance Meyer says people care about the fight. Well, no, what I mean is when I say I'm talking about the diehard fans, man, they don't care about it. But what is your prediction for tomorrow night then, man? Because I think that there's a strong possibility that Tyson could retire on the stool from being exhausted. And Jake Paul could very well say, I want Canelo next. It's a huge money fight. Huge money fight. So what do you think, man? Excuse me.
What I think, the call out is very important. Who is he going to call out if he wins? Because if Mike Tyson wins, it's just kind of over. But if Jake Paul, you know, it's the next step to, like, and there's another these events, right?
Yeah.
Another boxing circus. I'd say, is that Andrew Tate thing? Is that over with or no? That's not going to happen, right?
I don't even know who that guy is, to be honest with you. Maybe you could tell me. I don't know who he is.
Andrew Tate, he's like this other YouTuber. It's sad that I know that, like, these fucking YouTubers that do. Like, we're talking about boxing now, and then we're talking about these YouTubers. Like, oh, man. you really think he'd go straight? Like, he can't go straight from fighting MMA guys, and he lost to a boxer, that Tommy Fury, that is more like a celebrity boxer. He's not really even a professional boxer. So I see him fighting in some old name, another name, but I don't see him fighting a real boxer, because then the bit will be over. But yeah, I think Jake Paul I'm hoping by a decision, so Tyson doesn't quit or gets knocked out. That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, I'm hoping for the best from Iron Mike as well, man. I've never been a big Tyson fan, I'll admit it. You know, he was another guy who was built correctly in the 80s. Very exciting, gets the knockout. That's what grabs fans and casual fans' eyes. So the guy was a huge draw.
The video game.
Yeah, the guy was a huge
video game.
Yeah, I had the video game back in the day.
Did you pass it? Did you beat Mike Tyson?
Unfortunately, no, never.
No, me neither.
Tyson,
I think it's really hard.
Dude, Tyson was extremely hard to beat. In that game, bro, extremely hard.
Dude, you had to be a hardcore game I don't know how you beat Tyson in that game. I couldn't even get to Tyson, so
It was impossible,
just,
man. It was damn near impossible. Let's see another comment from the chat. I see Paul's plan. He wants to knock out Tyson because he knows we all love Mike. Therefore, we will all watch this fight after hoping he loses. People getting played here by by the clown. Yeah, that's exactly what he's doing. He's playing the heel role. He's playing the villain. He knows that Tyson is a hardcore fans.
Is he
fighter.
52 years old? Is he really?
Dude, he's 59.
Years old?
He's 59.
He's 59?
Yes.
59?
59, bro.
Oh, my. Okay. I would have given him a chance if he was early 50s, but no, late 60, basically 60?
Yes, dude.
No,
yes.
He's not. Come on. I think we got to, I think we're going to, yeah, you're right. I think he might get knocked out or quit because 50, I'll give you like early 50s, they can still fight. Some guys, but late 60 already, that's already past, I think. You're not in you shouldn't be fighting. You're old. 60 years old, you're almost a senior citizen.
Dude, he's just he's a few years away from collecting Social Security, you know? Like I'm not even joking with that. That's the crazy part about this, man. So I'll say this though, man. Right. I'll say this about Paul, right? And this is Tyson's chances to knock him out because when prospects are built, and I was just talking with Puro Sur about this, that one of the last stages in the building process of a potential superstar is seeing if they could take a good punch from a legit puncher. That's something we have not seen from Jake Paul because he has not been in with someone that can punch like that. We know Iron Mike knows how to punch. He knows how to generate power. It's just how long will that last with 8 rounds at 2 minutes and 14-ounce gloves that they have going on here. So what do you think, man? Will Paul be able to take a clean shot from Mike Tyson tomorrow night?
A clean shot? No way. In the first 2 rounds. After that, after the 3rd round and over, I think it's pretty much over. He's probably going to blow it. I don't know if you can say it as a blow his load, like they say in boxing. They say blow his load.
Yes.
Which is always weird. Like they're saying that shit on, they say that on live TV they keep talking about blowing their load and all that. It's always weird to me.
No, he definitely will. He definitely will.
I think Mike Tyson just go for those 2 rounds, just throw haymakers and just, try to catch him. Other than that, you're right. You convinced me. The fact that he's 60 years old, he can't beat. He won't win.
Yeah,
he's probably getting stopped.
It's tough, man. Let's just hope that the inexperience and again the unknown chin of Jake Paul shows up tomorrow night, and Iron Mike gets rid of this guy. But hey, man, I'm gonna let you go because I'm gonna wrap this show up. Good talking with you, man. It's been about 20 minutes since we've been on. Good talking with you, bro.
Yeah. Good talking to you. Thanks, D-Funky. Be safe and enjoy the fights. And I'm gonna do a clapback Thursday for Australia.
I love clapback, bro. It's great. Hey, enjoy the fights tomorrow, man. Maybe I might come on. We'll see, man. But have a good night, bro. Thanks for tuning in and calling in. All right, guys. That was my man, 92 AKU. Let's give him a hand. Long-time listener to the show. So, guys, I'm going to wrap this thing up. I want to address this comment here. Hey, look, man, if you're excited about it, hey, good for you, man. I hope that the fight is exciting. I hope it's fun, because at the end of the day, it's all about the fans, man. It's all about the fans. If they get their money's worth, that's a good thing for the sport. No way is this not an exhibition. A KO to Tyson, but media personality is yeah, dude, it's I don't really know what to expect from this event, but I'm going to wrap it up, guys. Thank you all for being here. Appreciate it. Wanted to see if any of my subscribers were in any way pumped up about this fight. There's a couple. So I want to thank you guys for tuning in. I'll try to do something for the Latino night card from Saudi Arabia this Saturday. There's some interesting fights on that card. So make sure you tune into that one, guys. All right. I'm going to promise you guys that I'll be back doing some more shows. All right. So I want to thank my callers again, Puro Sur, 92 AKU, and all you guys in the chat that came to hang out with me for a little bit, man. Thank you all for being here. I will see you guys on the next one. I'm out of here.